Well, hello all you miniatures lovers on the interwebs. This is Doc Eon coming to you on a Monday to ramble about said miniatures. It is Monday the 15th of May, 2023, and we have a whole lot of heavy metal here. First off, we have all these knights or warriors from Reaper miniatures. This is all relatively old Reaper stuff from their early catalog. Mix of male and female knights, all relatively speedily painted and simply based and such. You can't see much of them from here because they're all metal, but they're all in armor. Most of them are full armor, but you'll see more on the still pics at the end. Then we have this miniature from, oh my god, I forgot to check again. It's called, it's not Oathmark or Oathbreaker or maybe Oathsworn, something like that. A small miniatures company. I haven't heard of them in a long while. Don't know if they still exist. This was one of the earliest Kickstarters I ever backed for miniatures, actually, for this figure of Odin. And now a lot of him is in shadow here. Most of his chainmail is hidden either by neck of Sleipnir or by his cloak, but it's there, and I painted it all, and it's not very detailed, the armor that is, so it's okay that it's hidden. Unfortunately, the hilt of the sword is also invisible behind the shield there. That's a little sad, but anyway, we have Odin here in his flowing cloak and shield and spear on his 8-legged horse, and I'm reasonably pleased with how he turned out. So that is a whopping 8 miniatures, of which one is really huge, done this week. That's pretty good. Let's have a look at what we still have to do.
Now on the work table we have this collection of newly prepped minis, and I've even started painting them very roughly. Now the monks in the back, I've just blocked in some primary colors because I had paint left over on my palette, and I decided why not just test it out and see if I like it. This will be refined a lot later. There's actually only 2 models left. These 2 bones are the ones that are sort of left over from last week. Everything else is new, as in it was just bare metal last week. So I'm sort of catching up to my own painting queue. That's good. And yeah, these are all very nice, simple, fun models to paint. So I'm feeling enthusiastic, and getting through them is not going to be an issue. I will easily get these painted, I think, by next week. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. So I've started prepping Crystal here, that is her name, by separating the pieces, cleaning them up, and making them ready for assembly. So there's 5 pieces. There's 2 parts that make up the base, which are is this wall she's going to be leaning on. There's the main body. There is the rifle, which she's holding kind of in a position like this. And I'm painting that separately. And then there's a holstered pistol, which goes on her thigh there. Now I will be doing a partial sub-assemblies. I'll glue on the pistol, of course, because that's a small part and it's flush against the leg, and I'll assemble this wall section. So I'll have 3 sections: the actual scenic base, the main body, and the M4 that she's holding, that I'll paint separately. And yeah, it's I checked in the hassle-free catalog. This is listed as a 56mm model. It's a little bit on the short side for 56mm, as I mentioned last time, but maybe it's just she's a short girl. So, well, we'll see. I'll continue prepping her, and maybe I'll start painting her next week. We'll see. Anyway, that was all the works in progress. Let's move on to the outro. Inventory time. Today we're looking at a couple of boxes I dug out that contain old Kickstarters that I never got around to painting. One of these is from Die Hard Miniatures. It's a lot of resin figures, and I'm not going to unpack all of them right now. They are things like, let me see here, this Elemental, let me see an arm, is the arm in this bag? Yeah, there's an arm in there. It's, if I recall correctly, it's a group of wizards with familiars, all in resin. And, well, not much to say about that. I'm not getting around to these anytime soon, but we'll see. There's I think there's a total of 19 minis in this box. And in this box, there's just one mini. It's a big mini. This is from Mears Miniatures, and it is their big Chimera. I think the Kickstarter version is a little different. It's a custom version compared to the one they sell on their website. But let's just, I've unwrapped the body here just so you can tell how big it is compared to my hands. This is the body with the middle head, the lion head. You can see there's a bit of flashing here in the mouth. I'll have to clean that up. There's, of course, two more heads. There's a dragon head and a goat head. There's a tail, there's wings, there's the four legs. The four legs, as in the front legs. And I think this peg is, I think there's maybe a scenic base that comes with it. And this is a peg that's supposed to go into the base to support it. I hope that's the case. So it's not something I have to trim off. This, I think, is just stuff that needs to be trimmed off. These are pegs for attaching the legs. Interestingly, this has a connection hole. This has nothing. It's just flat. I mean, I might have to pin that. Yeah, so this is a really big project. This one has an extra gutter attached to his penis. Why they have bothered to sculpt a penis on it, I do not understand. But oh well. Who's gonna lift up this mini and look under it just to make, is he anatomically correct? Kind of pointless, but I suppose they just did it because. Anyway, this is a big undertaking if I ever want to paint it. So let's put it back in this box and instead talk about what I will prep for next week. It's time I got back to finishing up Bones 5. So from the fan favorites expansion set, I picked out a bunch more. We have these three little fish lizard folk. I think they're called axolotl. They're sort of reptilian. And this set is called Don't Steal Cockatrice Eggs. It's a bunch of minis that belong together. There's a piece of terrain, which is like a nest. There is a halfling who has stolen an egg. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 cockatrices chasing after him. So it's kind of like a scenario. One of them has wings. Huh? Well, they all have wings, actually. Only one of them has spread the wings. Anyway, so that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minis plus 3, 9 minis. That's a lot to prep, maybe, but the cockatrices are... I'll paint them all in the same scheme, and the terrain is not that difficult. So it's and these three will also be in the same scheme. So as each other. So yeah. Hopefully that it won't be too much trouble. And you'll see them prepped and primed next week. But until then, this has been another episode of Monday Miniatures Ramble with me, Dakian. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like, subscribe, comment, maybe even share it. And above all, I'll be back here next week, same day of the week, same channel, same me, same Dakian, who is now signing off.